If you are a business owner, then this is especially for you. Why background verification is so important for your business? Hiring the wrong employee can damage and tarnish your reputation. You can suffer financial fraud and loss. Data leakage and security risks can happen. Loss of client trust can unfold. Legal issues and non-compliance penalties can also resurface. BGV, or background verification, makes your hiring process safe, trusted and reliable. So, what are you waiting for, business owners? It's time for you to enroll now and start your learning journey right away. Moving on to number 9, third-party compliance or vendor compliance. It refers to ensuring that all external vendors, partners or agencies involved in the BGV process follow proper legal, security and data protection standards at all times. In BGV, vendors handle very sensitive and personal data of the candidates. If they do not follow compliance rules, it can lead to data misuse, fraud and legal issues for the company. Key compliance requirements: follow data protection laws and company policies at all times. Sign non-disclosure agreements, the NDAs. Handle data securely and confidentially. Do not store, reuse or share data under any circumstances. Delete data after work completion. Why is this step so important? It protects sensitive candidate and client data, prevents data leakage and fraud, ensures legal and regulatory compliance, builds trust between company and the vendor, and reduces risk of business loss. So, what are the key takeaways? Vendor agreements and NDAs are signed. Vendor follows company policies and the standard operating procedures. Data access is limited to authorized users. Data is deleted after the project is completed. Regular compliance audits are conducted. Let us look at a real case study which happened in Mumbai, India. What happened was a company outsourced the BGV work to a vendor without proper compliance checks. The vendor mishandled the data and shared it with unauthorized parties. The result led to legal issue, client loss and damage of reputation. The lesson learned from this case study: vendor compliance is very critical. Proper checks and monitoring are necessary as well to ensure safe and secure BGV operations. The best practices: always conduct vendor background and compliance check, sign clear agreements and NDAs, monitor vendor performance regularly, use secure systems for data sharing, and maintain an audit trail for all kinds of vendor activities. Regulatory compliance. It is a very important part in BGV, and it means following all Indian laws and rules related to data protection, privacy and digital security. Companies and vendors must ensure that candidates' data is collected, used, stored, deleted as per legal guidelines. IT Act, or the Information Technology Act, protects electronic data and records, covers cybercrime and data misuse, ensures secure handling of digital information, and requires proper data protection measures. DPDP, or the Digital Personal Data Protection Act, requires clear candidate consent before data collection. Data must be used and only used for defined purposes. Data must be used for defined purposes, like I said. Ensures data security and confidentiality, allows individuals to access, correct or delete their data as and when they seem fit. Why regulatory compliance is important is a very important thing for all of us to understand as well. It prevents legal penalties and fines, protects candidate privacy and data, ensures ethical and transparent verification, builds trust with clients and stakeholders. Key compliance checks. Candidate consent is properly obtained. Data is used only for verification purposes. Secure systems are used for storage of the data. Data is deleted after required period, and legal policies and agreements are followed properly. A real case study to understand this part better. It happened in Delhi, India. A company conducted BGV without proper consent and ignored the data protection rules. Later, a candidate filed a complaint for misuse of his personal sensitive data. The company faced legal notice and had to take corrective action. The result, of course, reputation damage and a lot of legal risk. The lesson to be learned from this case study: following IT Act and DPDP Act is compulsory for safe and compliant BGV operations. Best practices: always try to follow the IT Act and DPDP guidelines. Take clear and documented consent. Use secure systems and encryption to protect the data. Train teams on compliance rules and keep your teams updated at all possible times, and maintain proper records and audit trails. Finally, data security controls. They are the measures and systems used to protect very sensitive and personal data in the BGV process. These controls ensure that candidates and client information is safe from unauthorized access, misuse, or any kind of breaches for that matter. In BGV, companies handle sensitive personal and professional data that needs very strong protection. Key security controls. Access control. Only authorized users can access sensitive data. Data encryption. Protect data by converting it into a secured format. Secure storage. Store data in protected servers or cloud systems. User authentication, OTP, passwords, or multi-factor authentication. System monitoring. Track user activity and detect suspicious actions. Now, why data security controls are so important? It prevents unauthorized access and data leakage, protects candidate privacy, ensures compliance with legal and security standards, and reduces risk of cyber attacks and frauds. Key checks. Access is very limited to authorized users. Data is encrypted and securely stored. Systems are regularly monitored and policies are followed properly. A real case study involving a weak security system that took place in Hyderabad, India. A company stored BGV data without proper access control. Multiple employees had access to sensitive data. Data later was misused, leaked, and breached, resulting in data breach and reputation damage. So the lesson learned from this case study is strong data security controls are very, very essential. Limited access and proper monitoring can prevent the misuse of data. The best practices highlighted over here: implement role-based access control, use encryption for data storage and transfer, regularly update security systems, and monitor and audit systems activity. Train employees on data security awareness. The process. It is a highly confidential data such as Aadhaar, PAN, address, employment, and financial details. Without proper security controls, this data can be exposed, leading to very serious threats and risks. Key security controls. Access control. Only authorized users can access sensitive data. Data encryption. Protect data by converting it into secure format. Secure storage. Store data in protected servers or cloud systems. User authentication. Use passwords, OTPs, or multi-factor authentication. system monitoring, track user activity, and detect suspicious actions. Now, what is dispute and escalation handling? Well, it refers to the process of managing and resolving issues raised by candidates or clients during the BGV process. Sometimes candidates may disagree with the verification results, or clients may raise concerns about data accuracy. A proper dispute and escalation system ensures that these issues are handled fairly and quickly. When disputes occur, mismatch in verification reports, incorrect or outdated information, candidate disagreement with findings, and delay or error in the verification process. Dispute handling process: receive complaint or queries from candidates or clients, review verification data and reports, re-verify or cross-check information, communicate findings earlier on in the process, update reports if correction is required. What happens in the escalation process? Escalate to senior verification team or manager. Review case with additional checks. Take final decision as per company policy. Inform candidate about the final outcome. Why is it important? It ensures fairness and transparency. It improves accuracy or verification, builds trust with candidates and clients, reduces legal and compliance risks. What are the key takeaways? Complaint is recorded and tracked. Proper review and re-verification done. Communication is clear and timely. Final decision is also documented. This case study would throw some insight and light on what we just heard and learned. This is a real case study of dispute resolution which happened in Pune, India. A candidate raised a dispute regarding incorrect employment details in the BGV process. The company reviewed the case, re-verified the data, and found an error in the previous record. The report was corrected and updated. Result: trust was lost and issue was resolved. And finally, trust was maintained in the end. Lesson: a proper dispute handling system ensures fairness and accuracy in BGV. Now, looking at the best practices: create clear dispute resolution policy, maintain proper communication with the clients, ensure timely resolution of issues, keep complete records of disputes, train team for handling sensitive cases. The key takeaways: legal compliance is important to run BGV safely and avoid legal issues. Consent and data privacy rules must be followed before verification. Proper data storage, retention, and destruction protect and sensitive information. Audit trail and documentation improve transparency and accountability. And strong compliance builds trust with clients and candidates alike. Is BGV legal? Now, we've already moved on to the FAQs, and I'm going to just point out a few for better understanding. Yes, BGV is legal when proper consent is taken from the candidate. It must follow data privacy laws and company policies. What is data retention policy? It defines how long data should be stored and when it must be deleted. Companies must avoid keeping data longer than required. What is audit trail? In BGV, it records all kinds of actions taken during the verification process. It helps track changes and decisions. It improves accountability and transparency as well. What is risk management? It identifies and controls risks in hiring and verification. Proper checks reduces fraud and errors. It protects the organization. And that brings me to our reader action plan, which is the final section of Secret 7. Well, if you are listening and learning, if you are a business owner, do not approve hiring decisions blindly Always combine verification results, risk score, and business requirement before giving your final approval. If you are an HR professional, follow a structured decision-making process at all times. Do not rely on intuition or pressure. Use clear rules, verified data, plus risk score, plus role sensitivity leads to final hiring decision. If you are a job seeker or a student, understand that final hiring decisions depend on your overall profile, not just interviews and resumes. Maintain consistency, transparency, and honesty in all your submitted records. If you are a BGV agency, support clients with clear recommendations. Your report should not only show data, but also guide and help in the final decision making. And finally, BGV 360-degree learning case insight tells all of us that verification and risk scoring are only useful if the final decision is correct. Many companies fail at the last and the final step by ignoring red flags and warning signs. And, like always, a quote for all of us to remember: right verification plus right analysis plus right decision is equal to safe hiring. If you have any queries after this chapter, or if you feel that you've not understood a part, compile your questions, queries, and confusions. Send us an email in the email provided, and a BGV expert would get back to you with the solutions. I once again thank you so much for being so patient listeners. I'll see you in the next chapter. Thank you. If you are a business owner, then this is especially for you. Why background verification is so important for your business? Hiring the wrong employee can damage and tarnish your reputation. You can suffer financial fraud and loss. Data leakage and security risks can happen. Loss of client trust can unfold. Legal issues and non-compliance penalties can also resurface. BGV, or background verification, makes your hiring process safe, trusted, and reliable. It improves the hiring quality, it reduces business risks, ensures legal compliance, protects company reputation, and builds a trusted team. BGV helps you stay legally compliant and always ready for your business. What you will get in our BGV 360-degree mastery learning course: very important 20 hours recorded video course, the printed 360-degree book, which is a self-help manual explained in very simple step-by-step English or Hindi, certification support, 3 months of live classes from BGV experts, real-life industry examples based on case study approach, practical HR and verification workflow, fraud awareness and risk management knowledge, and the most important part of this program is it is available in a bilingual mode, either English or Hindi. What you will learn from this course, in a nutshell, you will learn how to verify employees, document and identity verification, hiring risk control, fraud detection, legal compliance knowledge, AI-based verification systems, and business protection and risk management. So, what are you waiting for, business owners? It's time for you to enroll now and start your learning journey right away.